it's switching the mindset to like, oh, these things happen and it's terrible. It's part of life. And like, we'll kind of do the best that we can. Or you look at it and say, all right, how can I dig in here and really flip this around for these people?
Welcome back to 10 Tenths, where we coach real estate agents out of burnout into high-performing businesses that fuel their life. I've got my friend Matt Bonelli with me right now. We're excited to have all of you with us. And if you haven't gone and checked out yet, we talk about it every once in a while, but go to YouTube, check out our channel, hit the subscribe button on there. Helps us out tremendously. Like, comment on any of those videos. That helps it push out to more people. We would appreciate that. And if you haven't gone and checked out 10tenths.co, you can find out everything else we've got going on, from coaching to daily activities, the accelerator that we have in there. You can raise the level of your business just by coming and hanging out with us a little bit. We'd love to have you. Matt, good morning, sir. How are you doing?
Good morning. I'm doing great, man. I'm pumped for today. And we got some really good things to talk about. We're going to record this one and another one probably after we do this one. And it's just great to be here, man. And the accelerator is going great. At the time of recording this, the accelerator is happening, the engagement engine accelerator. You go through all 5 zones of the engagement engine. And I'm just so happy it's come together so well, and people are getting such good value out of it because we've gotten some great feedback on it. And I'm pumped about it, man. I'm just so happy about it.
No, the feedback's been awesome so far. So fun to see people going through, actually engaging it, doing the exercises like that. That's what it's all about. That's what it's all about. So today we're going to have a fun conversation. That's something that I've looked at in business for years. Any business, whether you're real estate or whatever you're building, whatever you're doing, maybe even as a parent. I mean, you can take this into anywhere part of your life you want to. But the concept, Matt, of like when things don't go right, when things go wrong, how do we handle it? How do we approach it? What do we do to make it so that it's actually a win in the long run and not something we look at as just oh gosh, what a failure. Maybe I shouldn't even be doing this anymore. Like do something else. But these opportunities come up, and I watch agents, I watch people in life handle these situations so differently from one another. And it's amazing when you come across somebody that looks at it as like an opportunity's been born. And that's brilliant when you can find that moment in there.
Yeah, it really is. And in real estate, Garrett, I think it's an interesting industry because there's so many things that can go wrong that are outside of our control. Like it makes sense if something goes wrong that we have control over. Like if you're in a business and like the air conditioning breaks in your hotel, the air conditioning breaks in a room, like, oh my gosh, we're going to make it right. Like we're upgrading you to the presidential suite or whatever, right? You have those moments.
It is hotter up there, but you're going to love it.
Well, maybe it was just that room that the air conditioning broke, right? Not the entire.
Sorry, not the whole hotel.
Oh man, there's those moments where like if you're the business, it's like, okay, opportunity to make it right, and we want to make it right because we did something wrong. In real estate, a lot of times we do see things that like go wrong, quote unquote, that aren't our responsibility, so to speak. We didn't have control over it, and then we just watch it go by. We're like, oh man, that sucks. I'm sorry. Right.
Well, I've heard people go like, I feel so bad for my buyers because they moved in and this and this and that. And it's like, yeah, but like that was an opportunity if we chose to take it, if we chose to step into that role. This goes back to the moment that, Matt, you threw an idea for a podcast on our list of episodes here that says, but that's not my job.
Oh, yeah.
And it's like, but no, it is, if you choose to lean into it. Like if you were to take ownership of it, this goes back to the extreme ownership of what's happening around you. Like, but it is your opportunity. And that's that moment.
And it's a mindset shift for all this stuff too, because, okay, I understand logistically, like you can't fix everything, right? And there are even some things that just money can't even fix. Even if you had the money to fix it, like you can't.
You just need a hug.
Yeah, which that is the opportunity sometimes, right? It's switching the mindset to like, oh, these things happen and it's terrible. It's part of life. And like, we'll kind of do the best that we can. Or you look at it and say, all right, how can I dig in here and really flip this around for these people. And I think about it this way, Garrett, right? And we've talked about this before where the beginning, the middle, and the end of something are typically what people remember, and that middle being the climax of whatever it is.
Yep.
If something goes wrong, whether it's during a transaction or immediately after, that now becomes a new anchor for them. And so it may not even be about how do we fix that. It's how do we create a new anchor for them that brings the energy back up so that that doesn't become the last thing that they remember about this home, or it doesn't become the anchor point for them. I remember I had a friend who built a house, and he's an architect, right? And they partnered with this builder to do it. And the experience that they had throughout the entire thing to do this, because they built a duplex and they were splitting, profits and all this stuff. He said it was a terrible experience and it made them not like the house. That was their anchor point. The house was beautiful. It was awesome. They did such a fantastic job. And they wanted to move out of that house so fast because they just had this very, very low anchor. And there was no one else around to create a high anchor for them. And now they built another house and it's also amazing. But you get the point here.
Yeah. No, well, it's interesting. You said there's nobody around to improve it. And I think that, when those anchors show up, when those moments show up, I think as an agent, as a business owner, wherever your role is, it's that moment to be like, but what do I want them to remember from walking away from this moment? Do
Right.
I want them to remember that was a real bummer that we got, maybe it was a negotiation that happened where, something was missed, deadline might have been missed, whatever might have happened. It's like, okay, that's a really big bummer. Maybe they wouldn't respond and they didn't realize the significance of not responding by a certain time. And all of a sudden they are the ones that are left on the hook here. There's moments you can step back and be like, well, wait, okay, how can I change this environment right now so that walking away from this, they're not going to look at it as bad as it maybe could be. For the most part, Matt, though, I find that that's a big one. But when we're looking at most of the stuff that happens through a real estate transaction where things don't go right, I have found a lot of it is easily solvable, easily fixable. There is an easy solution around this where you can soften that energy around it and bring it back down. When we were getting ready for this episode, I was thinking about an older friend of mine that I need to get back in touch with them, but Win Washley, who works at the group. And I remember years ago when I was talking with him, he had a fund, like a money set aside to basically when things went wrong. It wasn't like how do I pay for that? What do I do? It was just I'm going to pull money from that account to make this right. And yeah, I think the biggest thing he ever had to buy was a water heater. And some people are listening out there going like, he bought them a water heater. Yeah. Day of move-in, they get to the house and there's water coming out from under the garage door and he's, flipping the bill for a water heater.
I bought two for one house.
That's a memorable moment of oh my gosh, did we buy the wrong house? Is this a bad omen? I mean, I've bought homes where I've walked into it after closing and going like, oh, what did we do? Like, was this really the right route we should have gone? This house was one of them. And there's easily fixable little pieces to it. For instance, this house. And I think I've talked about this on a podcast before, but those little anchors that you put into a wall that you screw the screw in, the little plastic anchors, they make them in all kinds of fancy colors. When the previous owners moved out of this house, they took down all the things that were anchored to the walls. So things that you actually should leave, they decided like, no, these are ours. We're taking them with us. 55 of those plastic anchors. That's how many I counted on the first night of moving in. I was like, I'm going to walk. This is bothering me so much. I'm going to walk around and count all of them. 55. That's how many I found. My agent knew that it bothered me. I got a hold of them. I'm like, can you believe they took all the things off the walls, all the little shelves and all these, the racks for your towels? They took those. Oh yeah, no, they took it.
Why?
Because that was theirs as far as they were concerned. They bought it. They put it up. They're taking it with them. I don't know if it had special meanings or what. I have no idea.
Yeah,
But
I love my towel rack. It's just
there's something
there
special
every
when you
morning
find
for me.
when
Holding
you
my
find the
towel.
right towel rack. I get you, Matt. I know exactly where you're coming from. But that was an opportunity. If they were to go, okay, we know there's touch-up paint. We had plenty of that. I'm going to send a handyman over. We're going to clean all those up. We're going to fill them. We're going to touch it up with touch-up paint. Hopefully we can make it better than the blue, green, yellow, white little, plastic nubbins hanging all over my walls. Those are opportunities. I would have had such a different feeling about the owners of this house that left it if that could just go away. I still have some. There's still some I haven't taken care of in this house. 15 years later, it still bothers me. And that didn't have to be that way. It could have easily been solved.
Yeah.
Don't judge me, by the way, that I still have those on some of, please don't pick on me for that
I
one.
don't think you've ever told that story. I've never heard you talk about the wall anchors.
I'll post one. I'm going to post one and be like, if you know, you know.
I've never heard of somebody taking the towel rack out of a bathroom. Like that's crazy to me. And all you have to do is listen for a pain point, right? Something that's gone wrong and say, hey, how can I solve this for this person so that, because these things amplify. I mean, you're talking about it today, how many years later, right? Whereas the story could have been completely different. What you've been talking about today could be about, oh my gosh, this thing that I guess really wasn't a big deal now that I look back on it, but my agent took care of me. Like, how cool is that? Like, it really bothered me that this was there and I was like frustrated but then it was just solved. And I'm now a raving fan of this person. And that is the opportunity if you listen a little bit more closely. And it doesn't even have to be related to the business, right? It could be, I don't know. You have a client that gets a flat tire on the way. Oh, I'm so frustrated. I got another flat tire. It's so cool. It's like, could just send them right over to Gerald's and have it fixed in 2 minutes. Yep. Right. And little things, you just have to listen for pain that you think is trivial or just kind of the way it goes and say, how can I solve this? Like, yes, an opportunity for me to step in and make something exceptional for somebody.
Also, to add to this real quick, my agent double-sided this. They were representing the seller and the buyer. And so when I brought it up, the conversation went as like, oh, that's too bad that they did that. Like, yeah, I could see them doing something like that. I'm like, that didn't solve my pain at all. Like,
wait, so you knew they would do this?
What are those, like, put your arm around me and just going like, yeah, sometimes life just doesn't go your way.
And then all right, see you later. You in the gut.
Wrinkles, right? All right. See you later.
Sometimes life just sucks. Bam. By the way, didn't mean to just pile on right there.
That was how that was taken care of. So I think, like, again, we have these opportunities. I love having an account. We just read the book Fans First, and he said, was it 1%, Matt? 1% off the top?
Of revenue. And that was just to wow people, right? And make some special moments that just came up randomly.
Yes. They were looking at taking a great moment and raising the bar, but I bet you they look at it the same way of when somebody is not having a great time, when they're not experiencing the way that they want to experience it, they can take that and go, we're going to make this right for you right now. And that's the beauty about having that account is you don't have to overthink it. You don't have to go, is this a smart business? Well, how much do I have left after I did marketing this month and all that? And oh my gosh, I mean, what if something else comes up in the business that I need that money for right now? I don't know if I can do it. But if you look at an account and you're like, look, there's 10 grand sitting in an account right now. And all that account says is make somebody's day better. If they're having crap happen, make it better. If they need that little extra push that's going to make them go, whoa, like you didn't have to do that. I got it. It's taken care of. And that it's something that I know we need to do for our business, Matt. When I read that in the book and, the more I've been thinking about it coming out of it, I'm like, oh my gosh, like that needs to be there. Very few companies have that wow account or that rainy day account. That's like, you know what? We're going to raise the bar when those moments show up. They usually, the people that I know that do it are kind of flying by the seat of their pants with it, but so much more powerful when you're ready for it.
Yeah. Well, and being ready is the big thing. And a lot of people don't have their financial flow in order to be ready for that. So anytime something like this happens, it's like, well, I'm just absorbing their pain now because now I am going through the pain of having to pay for a water heater. That was kind of what went through my mind when I had to pay for 2 water heaters for a listing. And I was like, maybe I'll get paid back. Never got paid back.
You just said it though. The word you just use is I'm absorbing their pain
Yeah,
rather than fixing their situation.
exactly.
And I think that that's the hardest part that a lot of people have of like, I'm not the one who took the garage door remotes. Like, why would
Oh,
I have to eat
super
that?
easy. Look, that is a whole SOP, by the way. The whole key garage door thing is a big pet peeve. Like, oh, they didn't leave the garage door opener. Oh, bummer. It's like Amazon overnight, or just have a stack of garage door openers ready and just go. Like, why are you not programming their car for them when they move in anyway?
You,
Anyway, that's a whole other
you
conversation.
know it's going to happen. It's just one of those like, yep, that is the most common thing that happens when people move and they pack their
I would
things.
even be like, take them, destroy them, do whatever you want because I'm going to take care of this for my people. And that's a whole nother SOP. That's yes.
You is that the SOP where you actually take their garage door remote so that you can be the savior and come back in and be like, I've got you.
I
It's
got
like,
it. I got
they're
it.
like, they were just here. You're like, no, they weren't.
But it is surprising that like we just don't we don't reserve some of these things. And I'm not saying that that means that you're doing bad business by any
Yeah.
means. Like this is the opportunity to make a business that is pretty generic across the board exceptional for people by looking for these moments where we can really improve people's lives. And now I can hear on the other side of this, Garrett, some people saying, well, if somebody knows that that's what I do, could they potentially take advantage of me? And one of the most extreme examples of this, I think, was hilarious. I saw this on Instagram post just the other day. Somebody was complaining about the price of a protein powder, I think it was. One of the owners stepped in and said, "Hey, I'm the owner of XYZ. Give me your." He's like, "It's the best protein you'll ever have. Give me your address. I'll send you a bottle for free." And then someone commented below, "Oh gosh, man, why do Bugattis have to cost $2.7 million?" He's like, "Haha, nice try." And
That's
so I
awesome.
get it. There's this, but if you're not making it a, hey, I do this for all my people, it's just, I'm looking for moments, people aren't going to take advantage of you. Right.
Yeah.
And if they are, you have the option of letting it go by. Right. There's no guarantee that you're saying, hey, if you find a bunch of those plastic little anchors in your wall, I'm going to send my guy over to fix them.
Well, so there's two sides to this. There's the again fixing pain, and then there's wowing, those opportunities to wow somebody, and the account can be used exactly the same way. And
Absolutely.
I haven't thought about this story with Gary V in a long time, and I'm gonna butcher it right now, but you
Oh, the
know,
jersey.
yeah, and maybe you can correct me on this, Matt. But if I remember correctly, uh, a wine order was placed, and he just said, "I'm going to see if I can wow this gentleman right here," and went and found him on social media. Started looking up things that he had in his life that he was, obviously very, big part of his world, and he went and told his assistant, I believe, to go find a signed jersey for this guy. He's a huge fan of this coach, whatever it was. Sent that with the wine over just to be like, hey, we wanted to say thank you. And by the way, now that's over the top, like almost in a weird.
And I think it was just like one bottle of wine. This is in his book, The Thank You Economy. It was like one bottle of wine that this guy bought. And they just like picked him out and were like, hey, we're going to. And so it was like more expensive to send to Jersey than the money they made on the wine.
Yeah, and that moment led to that person that he sent the jersey to, because I remember he was saying, he goes, I never even heard back. It was one of those things like it went, I'm like, did this thing even land? Like, did it even make it? Maybe I'm the crazy one. And then there was like a $1,300 like wine order that was put in, and the person made a reference to his favorite sports team or favorite thing that he had going on. And he was like, aha, like it did
Yeah.
hit. Like, and that was the referral that came through. And I think that sometimes when you're wowing people, and I think it's a really good point that Gary Vee makes, is that you don't know if it lands, but do it. You know what you're doing. You're stepping above and beyond. And I think we can pick it apart and go, is this worthwhile? Maybe I shouldn't do this. Maybe it was a waste of money. More often than not, it pays back, and it pays back down the road as you're setting
Yeah.
the standard for who you are and how you take care of people and how you show up. It's the business that I would want to be known as. It's the person that I would want to be known as, is the one that, goes out of my way to make sure people are having amazing days. Like, why not be that person?
And the beauty of this industry is you're going to know that it works because you see your people, right?
Yes.
Gary Vee was shipping wine to another state. Like, you see your people, and it shouldn't be a business decision anyway, right? This should be something that you want to do because you want to make somebody feel good. And if you actually set aside the money to do it, then there is no pressure. There's no, oh, what's the ROI of this? It's, I just have this money and I wanted to make somebody's day. You actually get to truly give through your business without expectation. And people say, well, I give all the time with what I do. And I said, I know, and I get that. And Garrett, we do that too. However, if it's part of the contract, there is consideration there. So while they may not expect it, we're going above and beyond. And I totally understand that. This gives you something that actually kind of is a little bit detached from it in a way. And I think it just adds a different energy element to what you're doing, setting aside, or just knowing that you're going to do it. You don't even have to set aside the money to get started. You could just look for opportunities to make someone's day. And it could be as simple as, you're moving in and the person that you just sold the house to is like, yeah, today's my birthday. And here we are moving. It's like, you round everybody up, you go grab a cake, you get all the movers together and whatnot, and you sing happy birthday to them. Doesn't cost a lot of money. You're just making a moment, and they're like, oh my gosh, this is so amazing. Get like 100 candles on there. You have them blow it out. It's just like, don't burn the house down. And you just have a fun experience. That's going to make that moment memorable.
If you burn the house down with the cake, you have a whole nother issue that you now have to go,
yeah, it's like, yes, new opportunity.
What am I going to do for this? I just created a new opportunity. Oh my God. No.
Now I'm bankrupt.
Matt, you need to leave now. Like, you've done enough. Like,
did you guys get the insurance policy in place before tonight?
I think you said you didn't need to make the account, but what if you did? And this is what I'm curious.
Absolutely. I'm saying you can get started without it. I mean, I think you should make it.
No, I hear you. So my question is to people that are listening, if you can go in the comments, I would want to know how much would you need to have in there that would give you this sense of like, oh my gosh, I can now, without even thinking about it, without having to second guess myself, I feel good that I had that amount of money sitting in this account. I look at the months that I'm watching some people have right now, and I've had some people have some $100,000 months that I coach, and it's just like, how fast could you build that account up? Like, I mean, did you need? Hopefully, you don't need $100,000 a month to make your world work. Maybe you're living big, maybe you do, but it's one of those like, could I pull some money off the side? Maybe you only had a $10,000 month. Maybe you had a $5,000 month. What if you took 1% off the top and stuck it into an account and just started building it that way? 1% out of every closing check just gets set into an account. It might take you a little bit to build it up, but all of a sudden you're going to turn there and be like, that's the number I was shooting for. And now I've got this safety space here that I can make this happen for people without overthinking it. And I think that's the gift, is getting yourself into that position where you're just like, I don't have to overthink this. I just got to do good stuff, take care of good people.
Yeah, I'd emphasize, like, this isn't a procedure-oriented thing, right? Yep. Not every client that you work with is necessarily going to get something from this account in a certain way. I think there's an opportunity to wow everybody uniquely, but that can be a whole nother thing of like, hey, we're going to do some great closing thing for everyone. That's a different account. This account that we're talking about is, how can you handle the unexpected that comes up in people's worlds?
Yes.
Good or bad, right? Look for those opportunities, have some money. I mean, you can wow some people for less than $20 for sure, less than $10. Sometimes it can be free. It's just paying attention and understanding, what can we do to elevate this experience? That birthday cake thing, that would be like $20, probably less, right? Go down to the local grocery store. It doesn't even have to taste good. They probably don't even care. You could do it with a cupcake. You just made an experience for somebody on their birthday that they're going to remember forever. And that's the cool thing that you can do, is to turn something that is either mundane into something excellent. You can take something that's bad and overlay it with a great experience, or just handle something for somebody so that they just don't have that stress anymore, which can make a big difference in somebody's world. So,
and sometimes it's just that simple handyman that can come in and touch up the paint real quick and be like, Yeah. Bum that you walked into your house that way. Cause it wasn't like that on the walkthrough.
Yeah. Yeah. Gosh, I mean, there's so many ideas that have flown in my head on like situations that happen that are small little things where you can just make somebody go, wow, I can't believe they did that, which is incredible. So, well, guys, these are the types of things when you put them into your business, they help you build a business that fuels your life and not consume it. And that's what we hope that you all achieve. And if that feels right to you, come join us in our world. Go to 10tense.co. That is our whole mission inside what we do with the podcast, with our inside track, with our group coaching, and with our individual coaching, is to really help people build businesses that are in alignment with the life that they want to live. Because so many of you, and you can raise your hand, we're not going to be able to see you, obviously you do it, but how many of you got into this business because you had a certain lifestyle in mind? And you're like, real estate is going to make that happen. And then somewhere along the way, your life just became real estate. Your business was put on life support, and all you do is serve your business. And that lifestyle that you thought was going to be there is not there anymore. And you just never got it. Well, we want to solve that. So come visit us at 10tense.co, and appreciate you guys listening. If you got value out of this podcast, share it with a friend, and we'll catch you guys on the next episode.
Appreciate you guys. Thanks so much.